Hey everybody, Adam Savage here in my workshop. Welcome to another episode of Tested VR. The whole reason we started doing this series years ago is because Norm and Joey and I started playing around with VR, and specifically we filmed me making something on the bench. And when we watched it in the goggles, we were all astonished by how intimate the experience felt. And I'll tell you, as a maker, I learned so much more watching somebody else handle a material in VR than in a video. And this makes sense, right? A video is simply a two-dimensional representation of a three-dimensional space. And our eyes and brains know how to make that translation because we have learned it. It is a learned procedure. But you don't have to make that translation in VR. Today I have for you some mathematical objects to demonstrate and to show you that I think this is the ideal format for. Okay, so to begin with, I have here a strip of paper, and I think we could all agree that this strip has 4 edges, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 surfaces, 1, 2, okay? If I join 2 of those edges together, by doing that, I eliminate 2 of them. So now I have an object that has 2 surfaces and 2 edges. But if I make one more step and give it a half twist, well, then I end up with a very special object called a Mobius strip. And this mathematical shape has 1 side and 1 edge. Allow me to demonstrate with a little Scotch tape here. So there we go, 1/2 twist, and I'm going to add a second piece of tape just for strength. Okay, so to show you that this has 1 side and 1 edge, I'm going to use a Sharpie, and I'm just going to start to draw on it. And I'm going to start here, and as I go, it's not going to be perfectly clean, but you'll see that, yeah, I'm drawing a line. I'm not lifting my pen from the strip at all. I am continuing to just pull the strip, and all of a sudden my pen meets itself, and you can see that I have demonstrated the Mobius strip has 1 side. By the same token, if I follow an edge all the way around, I come back and meet myself. So this object has 1 side and 1 edge. Now if I take a second Mobius strip, and this one I'm going to be turning the opposite way. There we go. So what happens when I take these 2 objects, each with 1 side and 1 edge, and join them together? Is such a thing possible? If I join these 2 edges together, do I eliminate all the edges and end up with only 1 side? The answer is yes, but the object can't be properly fully represented in 3-dimensional space. No, in order to represent this object, you have to drift into 4-dimensional space. This is that object. This is a KLEIN bottle, named after Felix Klein, who invented it in 1887, and it is what happens when you join the 2 edges of 2 Mobius strips together. The problem is, in 3 dimensions, the shape has to, what they call, self-intersect here. And so what is happening in this projection of a KLEIN bottle is that we make a compromise about how these planes intersect with each other. But if you were an ant walking along the surface of a KLEIN bottle, you would be able to, without ever reaching an edge, walk on every surface of the bottle without encountering an edge. Therefore, mathematically, it is an object with only 1 edge. And this is not the only representation you can make of a KLEIN bottle. Oh no. This one comes from one of my heroes, Cliff Stoll, author of The Cuckoo's Egg, an amazing science communicator, a friend of one of my favorite YouTube channels, Numberphile. Cliff made this and sells these on his website, and for the purposes of this video, he lent us several other executions of a KLEIN bottle, including this beautiful thing. This is another description of the same exact idea, an object with only one side and no edges. Oh, but there's more. We've got this one. This one, which looks like an Erlenmeyer flask that comes up to the edge. And I know it looks like an edge, but mathematically, okay, we got one more to show you, a beautiful wine carafe version. And I just want to explain that while these four bottles look radically different mathematically, or let's say topologically, they are identical. And this involves the difference between topology and topography. If you've ever hiked and used a topographical map, that topographic map is a description of a three-dimensional space. Topology is a more idealized mathematical study of spaces. So in topology, there is no difference between a donut and a coffee cup because they are both objects with a hole in them. That is as far as topology goes in identifying these two objects. So topologically, these objects are all the same, even though topographically they are quite different. They are all executions of the same beautiful idea of an object that has only one side and no edges. Now, you might be wondering if you can get liquid into these, and the answer is yes. Cliff demonstrates this on his website and in some number file videos. We are going to actually blow a little smoke in this to show you that it actually works to get some smoke in here. Okay, here we go. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, that was way cooler than I even thought it was going to be. So the smoke is going in here. You can use this as a vessel, but getting stuff back out of it is non-trivial. Hold on, I want to try that one more time. That's so cool. So the smoke has a weight, and you can see it coming around here and hitting itself and pouring in. Oh, so cool. So by this token, while this looks like a nice wine carafe, let's be clear that if you got wine into it, you can't get it back out by doing this. To get the wine back out, you actually have to turn it all the way over like this, and it would probably dispense a glass at a time, or like a shot glass at a time. I shouldn't complete this video without thanking Cliff Stoll, one of my heroes, for lending us these KLEIN bottles and also giving me some wonderful ways to explain them, and the folks at Adam and Chittenden who collaborated in the making of these. And I wouldn't be complete if I did not show you what I think might be the world's smallest KLEIN bottle right there. Look at that beautiful object. Dude, I understand how it was made, but I really can't wrap my head around how that was made.